Aw, yeah. What's up, everybody? This is Dave Hartman, your host. Welcome to the Three Gun Show. Glad to have you. Where you been? How you been? Missed you. It's been a week or so. Or days. I don't know. Did you listen to the in-between episode? If you listen to the in-between one, it's only been a few hours. A day, 24 hours, something like that. But other than that, yeah, last week was the last time we talked to you. But it's time for a new episode. This one is a solo episode with yours truly. And we're going to talk about the 7 items that you need to bring to a match. Now, these are some of these are pretty obvious, but I still find myself forgetting them from time to time. And I do see a lot of fellow competitors forgetting them from time to time as well. So I'm going to help you out here. This is me helping you. And I did get some feedback on this one from some buddies, and I'll thank them at the end here. But this is a little bit of a composite of the 7 items you need to bring to a match. And I will have all these written down on the in the show notes. The show notes are at 3gunshow.com/310. This is episode 310, so 3gunshow.com/310. There's also going to be links to everything that we talked about here. Some of them are affiliate links. Like if you go to Amazon, obviously, the link will send this little special code to Amazon, and it'll say, Dave sent me here. And we will get a small commission off of that. So if you do purchase that way, thank you very much. If not, no big deal. Just make sure and consider these items for the next time you're going to the range. And these are going to help you. They're going to help you here. But first, before we get into the podcast, if you're listening to this the day the podcast drops, which is Wednesday, November 17th, you have until midnight tonight to sign up for the Fantasy 3-Gun League game for the 2021 Fort Benning Multi-Gun Challenge. So midnight tonight, Wednesday, November 17th, sign up. Now we have 12 awesome prizes from the sponsors that are supporting this game. 12 awesome things for you to win, and you can only win by playing the game. So quickly head over to 3Gun Show Pro Shop to sign up, or to look for the link in the show notes. Again, 3gunshow.com/310. So thank you for everyone that's signed up so far to play this game. It's a good time. If you're not familiar with it, we did a podcast like 2 podcasts ago. Just scroll back in and you'll get a description there. The rules, the people to choose and everything are all over there in the pro shop. So just go check it out. And I want to say thank you to everyone that's signed up so far to play. This is really fun. There's a lot of great choices, and there's going to be some fun play here. And I want to say thank you as well to the sponsors of the game, and that is Vortex Optics, IWI, Hunters HD Gold, LAG Tactical, Founder Cigar Company, Scallywag Tactical, Weber Tactical, Atlas Gunworks, and you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for sponsoring this game and contributing prizes to for the listeners to win. So we appreciate the people there. And if you're looking for any of those products, go check those people out first, because they do support the shooting sports. All right, well, let's get into the topic of today's show, which is the 7 items that you need to bring to a match. Whether you're going to like a club match or a major match, most 3-gun events happen out in the middle of nowhere, or at least a good distance from the next town. And you have obligations throughout the day, such as shooting, resetting, stuff like that, maybe scorekeeping, and maybe helping pick up and stuff. So it's important to have everything that you need to be successful with you before you go to the match. A little pre-planning will ensure that you are comfortable, so you can put all your focus on your stage plan and your performance. Whenever I think of going to an event, the first things I think of are dressing for the occasion, dressing for the weather, and then hydration, nutrition. We'll cover proper range apparel in the future, but for now, think hydration and nutrition. You'll be on the range like most of the day. It is if it's a club match, it's going to be helping set up, help tear down, shooting in between, running the scorekeeping and stuff. Or if it's a major match, with an AM, PM, or on-off schedule, either way, you can expect to spend like 6 to 8 hours at a match each day, and sometimes more if there's delays or anything like that. So First up, I'm gonna call this the most important: hydration and nutrition. So to maintain your energy, your brain function, all that good stuff, you'll want to have small snacks throughout the day, and at least 16 to 20 ounces of water between each stage. Now, it's going to be different depending on who you are, but that's kind of the baseline that I use for myself. Food and drink are definitely personal choices, but I tend to bring smaller snacks that are individually wrapped to limit my exposure to lead or anything. If you share, bring like extra packages of things, or if you do like apple slices or something, or an apple, bring an extra apple or bring an extra bag of apples for someone if you want to share. But try not to share bags of things with people, as we covered in one of the previous podcasts, because you do have just junk all over your hands, and you don't want to contaminate someone else's snacks, and nobody wants to ingest lead. So individually wrapped items like beef jerky, string cheese, and like I said, small bags of fruit or veggies, whatever, allow you to take in small amount of calories on a regular basis rather than just like one big meal or like a big sandwich or barbecue or whatever, with the associated fullness and tiredness. Definitely bring some extras to share with a friend, or someone that didn't bring snacks. But again, avoid those bulk items like trail mix, pretzels, things like that. Not everyone's going to be as diligent as you in cleaning their hands, and multiple lead-coated hands, bad news for everybody. So if you're on hydration, if you're into sports drinks, go ahead and bring one of those. Don't overdo it though, because they do have a lot of sugar in there, and a lot of times you don't really need that much, because while we are performing, it's not like it's a marathon, right? So adequate amount, don't overdo it with the sugary stuff. Make sure your hydration consists of mostly water. Again, budget at least like 16 to 20 ounces per stage. If you are a sports drink person, consider like cutting that with water. Kind of helps. I did that a lot in my Spartan racing days, and that seemed to help quite a bit as far as minimizing the sweetness intake. You know what I mean? If you're in a hurry or traveling, picking up like a gallon jug of water at the grocery store for about $1 is awesome. So you can, plan for one day, 1 gallon of water. That's your whole serving size right there for the whole day. But do avoid soda and excessive coffee, because those will dry you out. Those are great. They're fun for celebration and stuff, but it's not actual good hydration that you need on the range. Next up is bug spray and Afterbite. Most ranges have like unwanted vegetation, standing water, like low points that are kind of like marshy areas, wildlife, other things that attract flies, mosquitoes, ticks, and a lot of places like even chiggers, which I didn't even know were a thing until I started shooting 3-gun. Constantly itching all weekend is distracting and annoying. So be sure to pack your bug spray and get exposed parts of your body, but also get your ankles or your socks as well. I always seem to have something going up the legs of my pants that's gonna scratch my legs or bite my legs or something like that. So I like to spray around the cuffs of my pants and my socks, and make sure nothing gets in there. Don't let things go up your pants you don't want up your pants. Also, don't skimp on the quality of the bug spray, or you'll be sorry. If you can, pro tip, buy your bug spray in Minnesota. I swear they have a special formula up there. Works all across the nation, but it's definitely the good stuff. And on that note, I always pack a stick of Afterbite in my shaving kit. So when get back to the hotel, if it's like a major match, clean up, then you can soothe the itch that inevitably you get one bite. There's always one. So you can soothe that itch with an Afterbite or a cortisone cream or something like that. All that stuff will help your comfort for sure. All right, that was number 7 and number 6. Number 5 is sun gear. Sun gear is very important. Sunscreen is an easy one. I always keep a tube in the map pocket of my truck. Keep the pro tip, keep the cap facing up so it doesn't spill all over the place in your truck. Been there, done that. Make sure that if you're applying sunscreen, apply it in the morning before you load magazines or before you carry heavy targets or steel targets and frames and stuff like that out to be set on the range for setup. You want to do that beforehand because you're going to get junk on your hands. You're going to get lead on your hands. You're going to get all kinds of crap on there. And then putting sunscreen on your hands and rubbing it in your face, that's just dumb. Don't do that. So you'll be just rubbing lead all over your skin. So sunscreen, I think I have a 40 or a 50 or something like that. Whatever's good enough for you. They probably all cause cancer anyway. Who knows? The next step up from there is going to be like a scarf or a shamag, like a tactical scarf to wrap around your neck, cover your head or whatever. And the cool, they're kind of in vogue right now. It's a large, like dad mowing the lawn kind of hat. They're always at the HEB and the Buc-ee's and stuff like that. If you're in Texas, or you can get them, ranch stores if you're out in the West. But that will not only keep the sun off your skin and prevent you from getting sunburned, but it'll also keep you cooler as well because the sun is not actually touching your skin. So that's next level stuff right there. Get yourself a dad mowing the lawn hat and a tactical scarf or a shamag, whatever you want to call it. Okay, next up is another apparel item or items. This is going to be rain gear. So if you're out in the West, this can be something as simple as just like bringing like a light jacket. Like a lot of times even a hoodie will work out in the West because it doesn't really rain that much. But down south in Texas and Midwest and just different areas that we shoot it 3-gun around the country and different times of year that we shoot, it can rain a lot. And I've definitely been in some nasty mud. Famously shot Generation 3-gun years ago. Got a ton of mud from the old range on my truck. My truck then broke down in Omaha, fell off a lift. I sold that truck and it still had Generation 3-gun mud on it like 4 months later. So, muck boots can be life-changing there. So muck boots, umbrellas to keep the rain off you, raincoat, stuff like that. And depending on where you're at and how much rain, like a method to keep your gear dry as well. I usually keep a lot of my gear in a bag, but then your bag gets wet. And if you're flying, that can actually add weight to your bag, which you need to keep under, certain weight restrictions when you're flying. So keep that in mind. Also, if your bag gets wet, then now you have this little moist piece of cloth surrounding your guns, which is not good. So method to keep your gear dry. I've seen garbage bags. I've seen tarps. I've seen other umbrellas and stuff. And but don't forget spare shoes and spare socks for when the shooting's done, because there's nothing worse than driving back to the hotel or driving home with soggy soaked feet and nice mud all over your truck. So yeah, spare shoes and spare socks. The flip-flops seem to be a big winner with 3-gunners. All right, that was number 4. Number 3 on our list is gloves. This one should really be a given, considering the podcast that I just did with Lan Win on lead exposure. But I find myself forgetting my gloves sometimes too, or maybe just like I thought I had them in my range bag, but they're in the truck, and then I rode with a buddy or something like that. But if you haven't listened to that episode, I highly recommend checking it out. It's episode number 307, so you just scroll back in your podcatcher there, or 3gunshow.com/307. We talk about lead exposure and things like that. As far as gloves, it will keep lead off your fingers or off your hands when resetting. But aside from lead exposure, other benefits of bringing gloves, you can like mitigate small cuts and smash fingers and stuff on targets and props while you're helping to set up and tear down. Judging by a lot of props that are kept out in the weather and stuff like that, you're going to save some splinters and, rust, all kinds of, you don't want to cut yourself on all that stuff. You don't want to get splinters, especially before the match, because now you got to grip your pistol and you're just driving wood into your fingers. That doesn't sound nice. Wear your gloves. Number 2. Now, this one is a staple in the automotive world. Working on cars, I always had a tube of this with me, and that is super glue. You might be wondering what you're going to do with super glue if you're not from that world, but super glue is perfect for covering up small cuts and scrapes. Not only does it like close the wound and then it adheres your skin together, it stops the bleeding. And then it also creates like a durable surface for the remainder of the match. So you don't have to worry about Band-Aids and things like that. And then reopening that wound. So small little thing, super glue. So in your first aid kit, you can toss some super glue in there or toss it in your shooting bag, shooting box. And for just a couple bucks, close up all those little bleedy cracks on your hands that you get throughout the day because you forgot your gloves. And finally, the number one lesser known item to bring to the match. And like I said, I asked for help on this one, and this was the number one recommended thing by my friends here that I'm going to thank in a minute. And that is dude wipes. The number one thing that you can bring to a match to make your experience more enjoyable, dude wipes. Now, that might sound like a luxury or like a silly thing, but I was introduced to these recently, and I am a believer. So this is especially great when you have like a porta potty to go with. No more picking through cobwebs in the porta potty to grab the last few squares of the one ply. You have a method to clean your hands before and after, and it'll give you a clean feeling like you've never felt before. And then you'll be back on the range to finish the match in no time. Whether you get the actual dude wipes or you just get baby wipes, can't recommend them enough. Do your bum a favor and bring some wipes to the range for those times when waiting to get back to civilization just isn't an option. And that's our list. So that's number one, dude wipes. A couple more things here. You may notice that the one thing that all these have in common is that they contribute to your personal comfort on the range. We talk about gear, we talk about technique, and we talk about ammunition, we talk about weather conditions and leveling your scope and zeroing your scope and stuff like that. But really what it comes down to executing, what it comes down to is you executing your plan, you pulling the trigger, you moving that rifle from stage to stage, from box to box, from obstacle to obstacle, switching pistol, shotgun, stuff like that. You have to do all that. And if you're uncomfortable, or if you're a little bit dehydrated, or if your brain's like a little wonky because you didn't have enough snacks, you're not going to perform as well. So take care of yourself. That's the point here. Take care of yourself on the range. All 7 of these things are going to help you have a more comfortable, more pleasurable experience on the range. And I highly recommend you try them out. So big thanks to the folks that contributed to this list, including Kyle Litzy, Matt Kitzmiller, Dylan Easley, Garrett Grover, Mike Griswold, Josh Tarrant, and Jay Christensen, and probably a couple more. Oh, Dave Horn. I forgot Dave Horn. Sorry, Dave. And probably a couple more guys I forgot. But those are the top 7 little known things that will make your range experience more pleasurable. Again, I did make a list of the items I use at 3gunshow.com/310, and I've included links to Amazon there. So if you do buy something from one of those links, I do earn a commission on it. And if you do make a purchase that way, thank you for helping to keep the lights on over here. And if not, no big deal. Once again, this has been the 3Gun Show, episode 310. Good luck to everybody shooting the Fort Benning Multi-Gun Challenge this weekend. And good luck to the people that are shooting Desert Brutality this weekend. It's going to be a good time as well. Again, Fantasy 3Gun, 3gunshow.com/310. We'll have all the links right there. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We'll see you on the range.